India has moved up several notches on the competitiveness index, but there's still some gap to close on the ease of doing business. To talk about that, joining us is Amitabh Kant, the CEO of Niti Aayog. Sir, pleasure to speak to you here at the India Economic Summit. I want to begin by asking you about the ease of doing business, which is also one of the key pillars on which this conference is being held. And there are some people, including HP's Neelam Dhawan, for instance, complaining yesterday that that metric hasn't moved so much over the past couple of years, and there continues to be problems on areas such as contract enforcement, for instance. How do you react to that?
No, a lot of work has been done on that. I think India has moved up. Firstly, on the global competitiveness index, we've moved up 32 notches in 2 years. On the ease of doing business, we've moved up 12 positions, and we expect to move up radically this year. But I think a lot of structural reforms have been undertaken. I don't think any other country has undertaken this kind of reforms. Bankruptcy law, national company law, tribunal arbitration law, bringing in GST. I mean, these are far-reaching changes, and I think a lot of this will give you positives over a long period of time. So, ease of doing business, you've had controls and regulation and paperwork over 68 years. If you expect everything to vanish overnight, no. But I think what the government has accomplished in 2 years is huge and enormous. I think you can register a company in 1 day. You can do MSMEs can get themselves registered in exactly 2 minutes now, and the export-import forms have been brought down from 11 to 9. The mindset of bureaucracy is changing at the top levels. For it to trickle down the line to the lowest level, particularly in the states, will take a little more time, but I think we are well on the way.
There's about 600 odd delegates here from 30 countries, a lot of foreign investors, and FDI has seen a huge sort of push in the past couple of years in India. What's the general mood like here at the World Economic Forum India meetings? And I ask this because there still continue to remain some concerns on areas such as private investment, for instance, not picking up, and the sustainability of the India growth story over a long term.
The mood is extremely buoyant. It's I've never seen this kind of vibrancy as I've seen in the India Economic Summit here today. It's huge energy and dynamism here, and it's born out of the fact that FDI in India over the last 2 years has grown by 53%. Globally, it's fallen by 16%, but India's become the #1 FDI attracting destination across the world. We've beaten China. We are undoubtedly the #1 destination. We've become a very, very open society. In fact, to my mind, we are the most open society in the world as far as FDI is concerned. Other than multi-brand retail, we've opened up everything. If there's anything more to be opened up, do tell us. Your viewers can tell us. We'll work on that. But
multi-brand is not an option right now.
Multi-brand has been overtaken by e-commerce. Really.
That's
so
true.
It's e-commerce is all over.
But that debate is redundant.
To my mind, it's totally redundant now. We move forward a long way, and important thing is that no country in the world can grow only on the back of FDI. You need local entrepreneurship to also invest. Now, Indian companies have created overcapacity. That's coming to an end, and I see a huge resurgence of Indian private enterprise in 6 to 9 months' time. I would envisage that we are cleaning up our banks, we are wiping out our NPAs, and we will see a lot of private sector investments in days to come. But I think you need to see this in the context of what's happening across the world. Globally, there's a slowdown across the world, so exports are not picking up anywhere. And despite that, India has been doing remarkably well.
The other concern seems to be on jobs, and there are some statistics, including official ones, which seem to suggest that job creation has actually fallen over the past couple of years. What tangibly is the government doing on this front?
So India's you can't have accelerated economic growth without inclusiveness. You can't have accelerated economic growth without jobs, and it's important for us to create jobs, and government is very determined to create jobs. It's
But you know, the criticism has been that, you know, there's been only piecemeal work on things like labor reforms and so on, and that's a critical aspect to job creation as well, right? So how are you going?
No, there's the reforms in labor done in the last 2 years are more than what they were done in the last 30 years. We must understand this. The government has undertaken a very, very major package on textile. Just to ensure that jobs are created. It's a huge, huge package. We've done something very unusual in the construction sector. What the government has done is very, very far-reaching in the construction sector to revive the construction industry. It went to the extent of saying where arbitration award has gone in their favor, 75% of that amount should be paid into the banks to reduce their debt amount. This has never been done before. So the government is determined to drive labor-intensive sector. It's opened up the FDI regime for food industry, food processing, so that there can be a backward linkage with agriculture, there can be a backward linkage with food processing, and that we can create many more jobs in food processing, textiles, construction. I think the government is very determined to do this.
Just finally, a wrapping up question. You've been carrying out several reviews across sectors and also ministries. What do you believe are some of the key challenges or the key problem areas that still need to be addressed?
I think we need to get the GST off the ground. That's critical. That's the biggest game changer across. But many other structural reforms like bankruptcy law, national company law tribunal, all of them need to start functioning. That's important. But I think factor market reforms, which the states need to carry out in terms of labor and land. States, we need to create 12, 13 champion states who are growing at 11, 12% plus. If they grow, then India grows for rapid rates. And lastly, I think...
And you're going to be releasing a report on state ease of doing business this month, I
believe. We're doing it on 340.
Can you give us a sneak peek into what
No, we are doing this on 344 points. The DIPP is doing this. Last year we'd done it on 100 points. There's huge competition going on among states. Several chief ministers, chief secretaries are all working towards it. There's a dynamic portal which works on this. And I think let the best, the one which has made itself the easiest and the simplest destination, win this game.
Okay, finally, since you have to go, just one wrapping up question. You mentioned GST. Does Niti Aayog have a view on what the right rate is for GST?
No, we don't have a view. Finally, it's there's a GST Council, which comprises of
but the RBI has recently said 18% would be good.
The important thing is not the percentage, but to keep it at moderate levels and ensure that there are no exemptions. But that the game is about building up consensus in the GST Council, where 1/3 is central government and 2/3 is the states. And I think we should leave it to the finance minister to drive that consensus.
Mr. Kant, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much.